Hi, this is Aman. So today we will talk about the progress. Yesterday I didn't record any video. The reason was very simple because yesterday I was watching a web series and that's why I was so busy. I was so interested in that web series and that's why I keep continuing to watch that web series and that's why when time came to record my video, at that point of time I was watching that web series, and that's why I was not able to record that video. But today I'm gonna talk about the progress. I'm preparing the competitive exam. Along with, I'm trying to improve my the communication English and want to be fluent in English language. I'm doing these things simultaneously because these things can be done simultaneously. And when you are learning any language or improving communication English, it is it is not too much to track about your progress because when you are learning you cannot record your progress in terms of the quantity because while we study we count our progress as chapter 1 completed, second chapter completed, and the third chapter completed, and so on. So we have a good measure, we have a good tool to manage our physical or any kind of activity that you are doing in theoretical. But when it comes to practical, like the learning any language, improving communication English, or any sort kind of activity that requires you practice like the dance or music or any form of activity that you are doing, that is very practically. And when you are doing things practically, there are not many ways to record or the to record your progress, whether you are making progress or not. And that's why when you are doing something that is practically possible, not in theoretical, then you are trusting your guts. Because when you are doing that thing that you cannot measure clearly, you are trusting on your guts, you are trusting on your dedication, the way you are presenting things or the you are approaching the things. Because when you are doing right thing, it certainly feels that you are on the right path, but you are not doing if you're not doing enough or the in that direction, then it somehow feels I'm doing something wrong. So in that kind of activity or in that kind of activity, in order to achieve the highest amount of success, it just depend on your dedication, your intention, and your dedication towards that skill. And in order to doing so, you trust your guts, you trust yourself, that you believe that whatever you are doing is work for others, so it will work for me, not maybe as same, but it will work for me in my own way. And that's the whole essence to measure our progress. And that's why today I want to tell you one example. When I started to learn English language, and when I first thought about it, at that point of time, I was even not studying at a good level. At that point of time, I was weakest student. At that point of time, I was studying in a government school. And in Uttar Pradesh, a government school has almost no value, or I would not say no value, but they are not worth it to become or to learn any language like the English. It is very difficult and it is almost impossible for a child many like us. But when I decided that moment, now it's time for me to learn this language. And after that, I made many attempts, but I couldn't succeed any yet. But does it mean that those efforts wasted? The answer is no. They accumulated by the time. As as I keep as I keep continue my journey to become fluent in English. Of course, it was not consistent. It was just I did 2 months, then I didn't do nothing in next 10 months. Sorry, in next 2 months. That's how were things was going to me. And when 3 months ago, finally now I decided, now it's time over. It's not about getting improvement. Now I will trust on my instinct, trust on my process, trust in myself that I will able to do that. I will achieve that fluency. And in order to fulfill that dream, I found various ways to practice English because the learning language is just by the spoken. There is no science there is no too much rocket science in all of that. But yet, simple things is very difficult for non-native speakers who is surrounding us, who in his surrounding nobody speaks English. So I searched it on YouTube and then I found many videos, thousands of videos. I would have watched almost 100 videos or more than on this subject called the communication and the English language itself. And I was doing continuously even till date now I'm doing. But when 3 months ago, I found one interesting thing is that it is not about you, it is about the processes, it is about your instinct, it is about the persistent dedication because practical things require practice. And the worst part is that when you are doing that thing, there is no correct way to measure that progress or the performance. And that is the biggest disadvantage when non-native speaker learn any other language. It is very difficult task, even though now because technology made it very easy. Like today, I do not have any friend or person surround me to talk in English, but technology is there and technology is helping me write in form of recording video and getting feedback from the AI, and that's make perfect sense. So it is. So if I have to summarize my whole talk in few sentences, then I would say if you are studying, then of course there are various ways to measure your progress, like the one chapter finished. In this topic you are weak, in this topic you are strong. But when it comes to practical things like the learning language, communication English, sport, dance, music, or anything that requires physical practice, more and practice, and there are less ways available to measure your performance. In that kind of activity, you need to trust on yourself. You should believe in yourself and then trust your instinct because the way you started, because when anybody think that they are going to do this, they must had strong reason to do that thing, and keep that reason remember every time whenever you think that now it's not time to do that. And so for today, now it's okay. I know that I made many mistakes in that video, but I'll try to improve as much possible as I can. So for today, so thank you.